What if everything you've been taught about money is wrong? Not just a few things. What if some of the most common financial advice is actually keeping people broke? Today, we're exposing 7 money lies millions of people believe, and some of these might be costing you thousands of dollars every year without you even realizing it. Let's start with one of the biggest lies of all. 1. You need a high income to get rich. Most people think rich people become wealthy because they earn a lot of money, but income and wealth are not the same thing. There are people earning 6 figures who live paycheck to paycheck, and there are people with average salaries building serious wealth. Why? Because wealth isn't built by how much you earn. It's built by how much you keep. Imagine 2 people. One earns $50,000 and invests 20% of their income. The other earns $150,000 and spends almost everything. 10 years later, who do you think is wealthier? The answer isn't always the person with the bigger paycheck. Income helps, but habits matter more. 2. A house is always a good investment. This one is controversial. Buying a home can be a great financial decision, but it's not automatically a good investment. Most people only think about the purchase price. They forget property taxes, maintenance, repairs, insurance, interest payments, and opportunity costs. A house is often both a lifestyle choice and a financial decision. The problem is that people treat it like a guaranteed wealth machine. History has shown that's simply not true. Real estate can go up, but it can also stagnate for years. Always run the numbers before assuming a home is an investment. 3. Credit cards are the enemy. You've probably heard that credit cards are dangerous, and they can be. But the card isn't the problem. The behavior is. Used irresponsibly, credit cards can create massive debt. Used responsibly, they can provide rewards, fraud protection, and help build credit history. A hammer can build a house or break a window. The tool isn't the issue. It's how you use it. The real lesson isn't avoid credit cards. It's avoid bad financial habits. 4. Investing is too risky. Many people avoid investing because they're afraid of losing money. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Not investing is also risky. Inflation slowly reduces the purchasing power of your cash. Money sitting in an account may feel safe, but over time, it can lose value. Every year that you delay investing is one less year your money has to grow. Risk isn't just losing money. Risk is also missing opportunities. Lie 5. You have plenty of time to start later. This lie destroys more wealth than almost anything else. People in their 20s often convince themselves that still have plenty of time and that investing can easily wait until their 30s. It feels reasonable at the time because life is busy, income is just starting, and there are always other priorities that seem more urgent. Then the pattern repeats. People in their 30s think they'll finally get serious in their 40s. In their 40s, they assume it might still be okay to start later when things settle down. And before they realize it, decades have quietly passed without any real progress being made. The biggest illusion here is thinking that time is always available in equal measure. It isn't. Time is the most powerful asset in investing, not intelligence, not luck. Time. Because time allows compounding to do its work. Small amounts invested early can grow into significant wealth, simply because they had more years to multiply. Even if the contributions were modest, the effect of starting early is not just financial, it changes the entire pressure of your future decisions. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to work for you in the background. growing slowly but steadily without needing constant effort or attention. 6. Rich people are just lucky. Luck absolutely exists. No question. There are moments in life where timing, opportunity, or even being in the right place at the right time can play a role. Some people do get unexpected breaks that help them move forward faster than others. But luck alone rarely creates long-term wealth. What people often don't see is what happens after that lucky break, because maintaining and growing wealth requires consistency, discipline, and decision-making over many years, long after any initial advantage fades. Most financially successful people share common behaviors. They save consistently, they invest regularly, they think long-term, and they avoid unnecessary debt. These are not one-time actions. They are habits repeated over and over, often for decades, even when results are not immediately visible. It's easier to blame luck than to study habits, because luck feels external, something you can't control. Habits, on the other hand, force you to look at your own choices, your discipline, and your daily decisions. 7. More money will solve all your problems. This might be the biggest lie of them all. People often believe that once they reach a higher income level, all their financial stress will simply disappear overnight. They imagine a point where money stops being a concern, where bills no longer matter, and where life suddenly becomes easy and stable. But that's rarely how it works in reality. As income increases, something subtle but powerful starts to happen. Lifestyle inflation. You begin upgrading things without even noticing. A better apartment, more expensive food, newer gadgets, more frequent travel. Each upgrade feels justified on its own, but together they quietly reshape your entire financial baseline. Expenses rise, expectations rise, and what once felt like extra income slowly becomes the new normal you depend on just to maintain your lifestyle. Before long, you're earning more than ever, yet still feeling like it's not enough. The truth is, financial freedom is not simply about increasing your income. It's about what you do with that income. It comes from controlling your spending habits, staying grounded in your expectations, and consistently building assets that grow over time instead of disappearing the moment you earn them. So let's recap. The biggest money lies are: you need a high income to get rich. A house is always a good investment. Credit cards are always bad. Investing is too risky. You can start later. Rich people are only lucky. More money solves everything. The reality? Building wealth is usually much less complicated than people think, but it's also much less exciting. It's consistency, patience, discipline, and avoiding these lies. Which of these money lies do you think is the most dangerous? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more videos about money, investing, and financial freedom, hit subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.